up a seat, let your guard slide down. We're laughing, we're learning, we're holding you down. Welcome to the spill room, where the truth feels good and the vibe stays smooth. Lean in, tune in, let your heart make moves. Welcome to the spill room. You're locked in now. Let's get into it.
I'm going to start this morning because I never say happy Friday, but happy Saturday.
Of course, Natty had to change it. It's happy Friday, Nat. We have this argument every week.
For this podcast today, Nancy and I have been thinking, since we never ever have a timeline or a schedule we have nothing planned for our podcast, we actually do today. So we've got two topics that we're going to talk about. First one we're going to talk about is, Sienna, what was it again?
Oh my God, just kidding. What we're obsessed with recently. I don't know what I'm obsessed with. So if Mum wants to take it away today.
Why do I have to take it away today? No.
I'll take it away because I am so passionate about this. So I recently rediscovered a show called Highway to Heaven. Do you remember it with Michael Landon? Did I mention that last week?
Yes.
Because I've been talking about it with everyone because I'm obsessed with it. So you can only find it on Tubi. And on Tubi are the worst, most horrendous, most disgusting movies in existence.
So they're a lot of scary movies.
I am hooked, yeah. And they are pathetic. It is the worst acting and I am hooked. So I'm exhausted. I'll work all the whole night and go home and still find the energy for a terrible Tubi movie. I'm obsessed and proud.
That's a good one. That's actually a good one. I'm going to keep it plain and simple here. Macca's. For the pregnant lady. And I just think about Macca's. I think about salty chips. I think about Coke. I think about, yeah. So someone give me some other meal ideas because Macca's is in my mind.
Hey, can I say something about that? Macca's is disgusting. Can you believe I haven't eaten Macca's in years? I had it for the first time the other night, and is it just me or are the burgers smaller?
They are a lot.
The burger was smaller. It didn't taste the same. It wrecked my memories of Macca's. How do you do it?
But when you don't have it for ages and then you have it, you're like, ew, this is disgusting. Like, so I never eat KFC anymore. Yeah. Like, I refuse to eat KFC. Every time I eat it, it's so oily, whatever. But it's just because I'm in the phase of Macca's and I can't get out of it.
Well, speaking of Macca's, that was my romantic dinner in Adelaide. In the middle of, going to be polite here, in the middle of nowhere. We were out there for work. As you all know, I've been away the whole week for work. We've driven for 13 and a half long, grueling hours, and we had a romantic McDonald's for dinner. And yes, there's shrinkage. Dom goes, is this a double cheeseburger that I ordered, or is it a cheeseburger?
So did you finish it all, Mary?
You did. I was starving. I even went the extra nuggies. I did. Speaking of food in Adelaide, so I was working there with my partner recently, and I was looking back on our photos because I'm such a foodie and I'll take photos of everything I eat, and I noticed everything was on fire. Like, just about every dish we ordered in a fancy restaurant was set on fire.
What do you mean set on fire?
Like it's up on fire. No, like it comes out flaming, like flambe.
Oh.
But where did you go to have flambe? Because I didn't get any flambe. I got cheesy, greasy Macca's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
How did you find flambe is what I want to know.
We had to be very selective. I did a lot of Google searching. And I've got to say, the food in Adelaide was actually great.
But you're talking about CBD.
Yeah,
I'm talking on your way in town. Dirty, dusty roads, yeah?
I love dirty, dusty roads. In the Northern Territory, it's my favourite. So you drive for about 3.5 hours through the desert to get to where I like to go. And there's little stops on the way, and those shops are bad, but they're so bad they're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they're nostalgic?
Quintessential old Australia.
Okay.
Like, very.
Yeah, you mean like Old Town Sydney, like Old Town Australia feel, that
really simple.
Yeah, no cowgirl over here. Sorry, guys. To disappoint.
Sienna, Mum, you still Daniela? I'm going to call you Mum too, but Mum.
You call me Daniela? Is that what I just heard?
Have we been always calling you Daniela?
No, you said always called me Mum.
Okay.
Mimi.
Mimi.
That's my nickname.
Oh.
My dad used to call me that.
Well, I'm here to.
Oh.
How romantic is that?
Oh, we're the same.
Twinning.
Well, you guys haven't said your obsession, so
Yeah.
All right,
Spill
okay,
it.
take it over here. See, what's your obsession?
Taking my antibiotics for this bloody sick off that I've been having. Speaking of.
say,
But it's actually gone away. So
Did
that's
you-
good.
did you know everyone has been talking about how everybody's sick? So like when I called the doctor, he called me at 6:45 and he's like, everybody is sick. I'm giving out antibiotics left, right and center. And it's not actually anything that is spreadable. It's all,
Insert
yeah.
bacterial.
Well, I don't know what I'm doing, but it might be the wine. Because I tell you, touch wood, and I don't want to knock it. I haven't gotten sick for a really long time, but then again, I think that's my healing power.
Oh, someone take this back when she gets sick later.
yeah. Someone play it back.
No, it won't
Watch
happen.
2 weeks. Just visualizing
I've
it.
visualized it
Well,
already.
everybody-
I've got a healthy inner body. I'm amazing. I'm
Listen, I
golden.
am growing a body. Does that mean you have less,
Nutrients?
actually more, no.
Immunity?
Yes, immunity. Is that what I'm
Immune
saying?
system.
No, it's the McDonald's that you've been at. That's what it is.
Listen, I've been doing that. Again, we'll go back to my Red Bulls. Can I just say something? Sorry, here's my other obsession. Red Bull and bees. And I can't have it, right? I'm pregnant. I'm not going to risk that for my little bubba and stuff. But Woolies, can I just give a big FU? Because, because, no, I'm going to say it. I don't care.
We're never going to get a sponsorship for Woolies.
Well, I don't care. I don't want a sponsorship from Woolies because you know what? I love the direct to boot. Thank you guys. I love the, you can pick up and drop whatever. You can order online. But then you know when it writes, have you forgotten? It gives me.
What's have you
So
forgotten?
just before you check out, it tells you, have you forgotten?
Forgotten what?
And then it gives you items.
Items that you've bought in the past.
Oh,
So every time it gives me 4 different versions of Red Bull and V. And I'm like, no, I haven't forgotten. Thank you very much. I just can't buy it right now.
Oh, that's their little sneaky reminders to catch you into buying something else.
Yes, it does work though. Sometimes, you forget to.
Oh, it does. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it
bring up the
reminds
cards
me
and
about
look at
Red
it.
Bull and my addiction to that. And then I think about how I used to sit
That's
on
an
the balcony and have
Did you just
cigarettes.
admit that you have an addiction?
I do.
Mm,
I do.
she does.
But I've said it before in the past. I always thought it stops your fertility, but it doesn't because of fall pregnant. So it's all good. Anyway,
I had 2 Red Bulls, gotta say this week. Well, we had to keep pepped up with sleepy old Adelaide, so we needed to have get number 3. We drove straight there the whole time. We stopped at a couple of little spots, obviously along the way for fatigue. And then we stayed about an hour and a half prior to getting into Adelaide. And then we knew we had to be up at 5 a.m. to go to work the next morning. Work all day, up and down buildings, in and out of here, and dusty, dirty, and da-da-da-da. So a couple of Red Bulls, they did take me. So they do give you wings.
so what's your obsession this week? Still on the 10.
My obsession, and because social media is amazing like this is the only part I love about
Sometimes.
social media, is when it gives you suggestive reels. And they're just, I don't know, it's reading my mind. And probably the more that I'm watching the reels, obviously it's suggestive of other reels. So for me, it's, are you ready for this? Starseed children.
What?
Is it AI?
Is that?
I'll leave it at that. And then we can, what is it? It's not AI.
It sounds like an AI.
No, starseed children are potentially children that have been sent to the earth from another dimension. Like they've been earthed to bring. So from the 70s, you had indigo children that have been sent here. Right, so they're put on Earth for a particular reason, and to mix in and introduce, I think it was, so they've got really strong powers as well. I'm still reading into this. I'm very new at it. This has been my obsession for the week. And then the next set were for the late 70s, early 80s, and it's crystal children. No?
She's like, no.
Tanya, it's such bullshit.
It's
all
This is bullshit.
from someone who talks to dead people and spirit every day for a living.
Well, Mary, thank you.
Bullshit.
Okay, well,
And I was so sucked into
Oh.
this then, Mary. How bad is that?
And so I can't say I'm sick of it, but
I've never even heard of
It's
it.
the first time I've seen
yeah, it's I have so many friends and people who come and say, I'm the starseed, and it's like, No, no. So
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not true then.
I'm not popular in the industry because it is bullshit.
Thank you then, Mary. Because I literally was watching it all
Yeah.
week. Like I even went onto YouTube then thinking, oh my God,
I've never heard of it ever.
geez, I'm naive.
No, not at all. So, you're watching these reels and you go, oh, that's me. Yes, I'm an empath. I feel that. So you resonate with it.
Yeah.
But so does half the freaking planet. Like we're not these interdimensional beings. We're all created from source, which is interdimensional. So we all do basically come from another planet and we go back to that planet. That's how it works when we die. But we're not starseeds.
That's funny.
It's a load of crap. But star signs are real. They
Yes,
are.
yes. How much
So
trouble are we
real.
getting into now, Mary?
A lot. I'm going to get into a lot. I'm going to have so many haters.
Hey, it's called honesty.
Have you got
Because-
have you got trolls online? You reckon that? Oh, there's Mary at it again, telling us this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Is that what's going to happen?
I'm like the psychic mythbuster. Yeah, whenever there's a new trend, I'm like, bullshit.
But that's what we
Bullshit.
want, though.
Yeah.
Like, I actually think that's amazing because that's what we need, right? Because it is true.
Absolutely.
See, stupid Danny.
No.
She's like, and the reel was just like so. It was this little girl, and she's and that sucked me in because I love kids, and this little girl's talking about God and Jesus, and she's talking about how she was put on this earth to spread this word of love, and I thought, oh, okay, and
We
then
all
it had at the
know.
bottom my starseed child, and I went, okay, and then when I saw the crystal one, I love my crystals. Oh God, what a dickhead! Now I feel
Let's start a new one. Why don't we just start a new one and make it up?
What do you want to make
I
up?
don't know, like the Macca's children were put on Earth to eat nuggets.
Yeah, maybe we'll make some money from that.
We would. We would.
I'm just picturing the ad.
Oh.
Nuggets children.
So, Macca's, if you want to sponsor us, we're in, okay?
Yeah,
we're in.
I'll have
Yeah.
that.
Natalie will be your primary candidate for the visuals.
Get on Audi now. So we can get some.
I'm already looking at McDonald's. Probably got me, honestly. So I have a story that I want Mary to help answer for me.
What if Mary doesn't want to do it?
She
though?
doesn't. She doesn't need to. She doesn't need to.
She might
But I'm
not.
going to tell this story just because the listeners are going to find it crazy. And then Mary can say to me, that's just a load of bullshit. Or she can say to me, you know what? I've got the answer for that.
I have a new nickname for Mary. She's going to be the Mythbuster cracker.
Yeah.
The psychic.
That's what was it?
What did you call it? Psychic
Mythbuster.
Mythbuster. I like that.
Okay.
Well,
That's going to be on her new title.
yeah. Set the scene, Nat.
So I actually forgot about this story, but my auntie reminded me of it because it was such a big deal at the time and I could never figure it out. But I had this friend, and look, I'm going to tell you in the end what I think it was, and then you could tell me what it actually was, okay? Because I think you're going to be able to
Feel like
answer
we
that
need
really
it.
easily.
Dun, dun, dun.
We need the scary music because it was fucking scary. You can take that F word out. So I had this friend of mine who I'd known from childcare. I don't speak to her anymore, but I'm sure if she hears this story, she will want to know what it was as well. And Jared was away for a golf trip. And I was like, I don't want to stay at home by myself. And I've never, ever had any issues in my home regarding ghosts or anything like that. But I was told that there was like this little boy who went missing on our street, and they say that it was our house, but it could be a load of bullshit because I don't know. She's saying no.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Okay. So I always thought,
Bum, bum.
I always thought that little boy that when I first moved in the home, their spare bedroom, I used to always hear a kid saying, Mum, I want to come in your bed. And I always said to Mum and Sienna, I could swear, maybe one day it's one of my kids because that's meant to be a spare bedroom, blah, blah, blah. But then I just thought, you know what, I'm imagining this. And one day Jared heard it as well in the shower. He heard the kids and we're like, must be a neighbor. Like, that's just ridiculous. Anyway, so, fast forward, I have never had any, ghosts in my house or anything scary happen to me because I don't attract any of that. And I'm sure Mary can dive into that, but I've never experienced that. I've always had happy things. So me and my friend, we had a great night. We went out, we go to bed, and it was probably about 12 o'clock when we went to bed. And I had this, actually, I'm not going to explain what it was yet. So what are you going to say?
Can I just say, before Mary gives,
Yeah.
how about we do a little game on this?
What is a
Before
Mythbuster?
Mary gives us her Mythbuster here,
Yeah.
right? Or
Yeah.
her theory.
Yeah.
Can we all have a turn first?
on what you think it is.
What?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Everyone?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's
She
go.
probably already knows, but she might already know the story.
Don't assume.
Okay.
Don't
Because it makes an ass out of you and me.
Dad's,
Yeah.
Dad's spoken stuff.
Okay. So, anyway, we're laying in bed. We start talking, whatever. We go to sleep. 3 o'clock on the dot. 3 o'clock in the morning. We hear this shatter of glass. It was a bang. We both got up, petrified, because I'm instantly thinking someone's breaking into the house because we have these sliding doors, and I just thought that whole thing, like someone smashed it to come inside. Anyway, and I'm like, we're listening. It was dead silent, and I quickly went to close the door. And she's holding my hand. She's shitting herself because it's not her house. And I'm just like, I've got to protect something here. Like, so I've got the window open. I'm trying to have a look outside to see if someone's broken in. I can't see anything. Anyway, so I'm just like, shit, what do we do? Like, we've got to call the cops or something because there's, anyway, so like, let's just listen. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe something broke. And then we can hear, no joke, if she was here, she would tell you, we could hear ruffling, like people going through papers in the drawer. We could hear someone walking up and down. Oh, this gives me chills because I swear to you, it is not, this is true story. We're walking, I can hear someone just dun, 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 walking down the hallway, opening a door. So I'm like, that's it. Someone's going to kill us. That's it. Like, I'm like, I don't even have a bat under my bed. And she's just holding me tight, like, shit. And I'm like, let's just call the cops and we'll talk really quietly. You know, someone's in here. And then you could just see someone like standing near the door, walking away. And I'm just like, oh my God, that's it. I've never had this happen to me before. Anyway, fast forward, we've called the police. They can hear it through their, like, on their end. Cause like, I'm in the bedroom and it was that loud. And the police are like, all right, we're coming. We've got sniffer dogs. We've got investigators, and they were shitting it. So they come within 5-10 minutes. And as soon as they arrive, I was just like, oh, because at least I can jump out of the window or something. They're checking the house. They're looking through like little doggy doors. They're trying to see if some, like, you know, what it was. They were stunned because as soon as they walked in, they go, oh, be careful. There's glass everywhere. And I'm like, well, I wasn't wrong. Glass broke. And they're like, what? They were trying to figure it out, I reckon, for at least 20 minutes before they let us get out of the bedroom. They're like, yeah, clear, no one's here, whatever. And they were stumped because they heard it through the phone. So they're trying to listen back to the phone recording of being on the phone with me. And they could hear it. And they're like, what was it? Maybe someone's left now. There's no doors opened, nothing. It actually was my coffee table, shattered into, not like just a little crack, shattered into like 1,000,000 pieces. Like, it was insane. And my friend, she, like, I don't believe in any of that stuff, but she was like, oh, it could have been something bad. You know, something was, you know, we went to the crystal shop the other day. And I was like, why would you think of that? Because she goes, we could have taken something from that crystal shop. We could have taken a bad spirit. I'm like, no, it could have been something telling us something, but I don't believe there's something bad in my house. I don't believe it. And then after I stopped being friends with her, I thought maybe it was her. She was carrying that. Yeah. And I thought maybe she carries that because she's constantly thinking bad shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I just thought, I've never had this happen in my house before, but I had a feeling that like that was something else. Like it was just on another planet. I've never experienced it. Anyway, so just to finish off the story, when we finally met with the cops, they're looking at us like, oh my God, that's so freaky, whatever. And the investigator said to me, look, I really don't, there wasn't a person in here. Like, we've done everything, but maybe you should call a priest because we heard, like, that's how adamant. They rang us the next day to still ask if we found anything. And nothing was open, but yeah. So anyway, you guys can all give me what your theory, but I think there possibly was something around in the house and it was a signal of something.
So my theory was that although she's a lovely girl, she's a lovely family, but definitely she's picked up something or she's been carrying it with her and she's brought it to the house. Because another thing, since she has sort of, you know, unfortunately you guys have had a little bit of a falling out, you've had nothing happen ever again.
Yeah.
So I do think there was something in the home. We saged it after.
Yes.
I remember I got them to sage it. I said, open all the doors, open them up, sage it, and just ask whatever it was to please leave and just to, you know, fill your, you know, house with good things and that they needed to return back to wherever they came from. That's my, I believe that she brought it in with you and not necessarily to do harm to you. It's just, I think she carries it. Yeah, carries energy with her. But could be wrong. Sienna?
I was going to just say the same thing. I think it's just her energy. She might have had something latched onto her. or like you brought it from somewhere, or but since like you said, since she's not been around, there's been nothing.
Okay, Mary's saying. Yeah.
I am actually excited about this one because no one ever lets me talk about this. It's a dark topic.
Yeah.
And people don't like me to go there. And I remember doing shows where I was specifically told you are not allowed to speak about this in a Q&A show. So just as we have angels, there's also demons, okay? So think of them as the opposite to angels. And as we call in our angels when we need help or protection, people who work with things negative can call that in. Now, I never work with that. I'm totally against that and spend a good part of my career exercising and clearing that, okay? To the point where someone does have that attachment, they actually can't come near me. I remember one girl was stuck in the car park and couldn't come any further because I just, with the protection I have around me, I will not let that near me. So I'll clear it at a distance. Her mother brought in photos where you can actually see claws coming down over her.
I believe it. I watch all the Conjuring.
No, I don't like it at all.
No one
But
likes
when
it.
I say naive, I believe in that, but then am I wrong believing in that? Because see how I can get so fooled by starseed children.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the good stuff that, you know, is this stuff real?
You're not naive because most people will never experience it and you shouldn't. So I don't want you to focus on it. I don't want you to think about it because that in itself almost attracts it in.
Yeah.
And we're certainly not going to attract it in by talking about it now. So personally, we're very protected. This is more just, you know, an awareness thing. It's a topic. So we're not bringing that in. I don't let that in ever. But this girl's obviously done something where she's attracted that. Now, there are a few things you can do that attract it, and this is things I'm dead against. So we never, ever use Ouija boards, ever, okay? Because you're not controlling what you bring in. So when I speak to spirit, it's very, very safe. I don't just allow in anything. It's a very controlled way that I bring them through. The other thing is drug use. So whenever there's drug use, you open your mind, you open portals that you can't control. Okay, that's where I have a real problem with drug use, and it's a big thing in our society now. And when you do attract it, and when it first comes in, one of the first signs is depression. So it causes you to become so depressed, so negative, so miserable. You want to take your life. It will literally destroy your soul when you when you come into possession. People think when you get possessed that you start talking in tongues and your head rolls and things like that. You just become terribly miserable.
That's what it's like.
Yeah. And so it divides different people, which is why you probably fell out with this girl in the first place. It won't allow you to maintain friendships or keep that. I don't think she was possessed in any way, but she was attracting something. And I get that with her, the way she attracted it was through a breakup. So
That is crazy.
Oh, that's crazy.
When you go through,
I sent it to her.
yeah, for her own help, because it's out of compassion. When you go through a breakup, you can often think negative things, do negative things, call in negative things, or manifest things that you shouldn't. And you don't realize you do it. So please, guys, when you're in a place of pain, be very careful of what you do to heal that pain. So when you were hearing the voices, that was about Noah. Okay. The reason Spirit showed me that was happening is you were both wondering if you were going to have children.
It was,
Can we have children? And there was a fear of maybe we can't have children.
Yeah.
And it's basically his soul saying, hey, Mom, Dad, I'm coming. Don't be scared. So that was really positive. Most of you are never going to experience anything like this in your lifetime. But when you watch those movies where things blow up and things move,
That's convinced it was something.
poltergeist activity. When they move something small or they hide this or hide that to have fun with you, that's not poltergeist activity. Poltergeist activity is destruction. It's destruction, and it feels scary. You'll feel scared. Yeah.
And it was shattered in a way that the police even said that there's no way that something could have, even if say the glass broke because it was faulty, it wouldn't have broken like that. It was in 1,000 pieces.
It even had all the books dropped underneath it, like it exploded the way it shattered when you showed us the photos. Like it was everywhere. Like nothing was dropped onto it or anything to do that. It was weird.
And when you say, like, you know how I was saying they were ruffling through things, what is the sort of symbol that they're trying to, what would that have been?
They're trying to scare you.
Yeah.
So their motivation is to scare you, to cause absolute unrest. And glass is one of their favourite things to break. So you've got to think glass is a conductor. They'll use glass, they'll use water. So in houses that are really haunted, you notice there's usually a really bad smell coming up through the pipes. You get reports of like sludge and things coming up through pipes that are unexplainable. So love water, electricity, so your lights blow, things like that blow. anything that's a conductor.
But that was the other thing, Nat. Do you remember the lights were turning on and off in your bedroom and the TV?
Yeah. Oh my
That's
God.
right, yeah.
And the blinds. Every time she come to my house, every time she come to my house, actually, or she had been to my house, this hasn't happened since. The blinds, I'm telling you, no wind, no nothing. This is just in the middle of summer. And Dad would be like, like recorded videos where they fully swing. And like, what else did you say? The lights. That's what else.
The TV.
Oh, the TV. Okay. It was not plugged in. And the TV would turn on and then off, and there was no plug. Yeah. That's how crazy that. I've never experienced anything like it.
Can I ask Mary, have you dealt with like any of those like kind of cases and helped along with like haunted things?
A lot of those cases. The most personal for me, because it's not allowed in my world, was with my ex-partner. It was quite scary. There was actually a hole in the roof. A hole had fallen through in the roof, and I would wake up with scratches on me and cuts on me because this thing wanted him. He was obviously dabbling in something quite bad, and I wouldn't let it get to him. So it was trying to attack me to get to him.
That is really.
And it was like, you're not going to get to him. It's not going to happen. And, you know, I'd wake up and see things clawing through that hole in the roof. The whole house would fall apart. Even the house I lived in with him falling apart. He just had that with him, and a smell would come out of him. It's like a sulfur smell. It literally smells like hell.
So what did you do, Mary?
Pray. You have to pray. Praying is what you have to do. What's hard is when they want that attachment. If they want it, you can't stop it. They have to want to let it go, and quite often they want it. So sadly, in my ex-partner's case, it was an attachment that he wanted. Hence, ex-partner. It doesn't allow you to stay in anything. It doesn't allow you to maintain those relationships that will literally destroy things around you. But since he's gone, nothing. But in saying that whole time, my life was fine. My kids were fine, apart from the home. Couldn't come near me because I always had that protection. Archangel Michael is your best friend. No matter what your belief, call in Archangel Michael. So there's an exorcism prayer that I pray all the time. And that prayer, I give it to all my clients who go through this sort of thing, get them to pray it. I always use incense that's blessed by a church, and that works much more than sage. Think of sage like a Band-Aid. Sage will remove it for a temporary moment. You need something stronger than that. You need to actually get it out. So there's certain prayers, certain rituals with incense that you'll use, and you have to do it continually. It's not going to happen the first time. It's a battle. You have to fight this thing.
Coincidentally, Mum and Dad went to Rome and bought me the Mary at that same time. A candle thing from the church that was blessed, and a photo. There you go.
Perfect. And no matter what, the rosary is also a very, very powerful tool. So I always carry a rosary with me. You don't have to be Catholic. You don't have to be religious to believe in that. But it's like a sword. It's like a weapon. It literally can't get past that.
So with like, I do love a good scary movie. I went through, that was my obsession for a while.
Yeah.
Like The Conjuring and things. Do you find that they are quite like they're
they're quite accurate. It's a tricky one because they're really entertaining.
Yeah.
But try not to get hooked on them, because then you get an obsession with them. So my mum went through a phase where she was really obsessed with all these shows. And I said to Mum, please stop. You're starting to like it too much. If you find yourself starting to like it or enjoy watching it, stop. If you're still scared, and if you're finding it intriguing and you want more of that, stop. Because what it does, it destroys you.
I can't stand them.
Yeah.
I cannot watch them paddle. I can't watch Wolf Creek. I can't watch anything. And then the other day, someone from work.
I love Wolf Creek. I love John Jarrett. John Hay, you're amazing. Brilliant actor.
I'm not saying that the actors aren't amazing, Mary. We're talking about the fact that there's dead bodies hanging off ceilings and there's been murders of these poor hearts hitting them. Are you
that? I do.
Are you demonic? Because you're saying that don't like them.
No, I'm talking about demonic possession movies, like good murder, horror, all that stuff. I'm talking about, those movies.
I'll take that. Can't deal.
I love it.
So do I.
I'm talking about those movies, where they're chanting demonic chants and they're calling in possession.
How come you like it? Because you're not scared of it. Hey, you're like,
yeah, no, I love I love the stupid people in it who always run straight to the arms of the murderer.
Wolf Creek's a true story, Mary, and they never found him.
I like that. No, I don't like that. Yeah.
She's very scared of that.
Mom hates it, but me and my client,
I like to be informed.
all my girlies, we listen to the true crime podcast every single last session, and they fall asleep to listening to the dead bodies being found, and this one was strangled.
No.
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, crime fascinates me because what goes through someone's mind?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, hang on a
Exactly.
second. I'm not saying it's not interesting or fascinating or it's educational to understand, and I agree with you wanting to understand. I'm talking about the visual side of and knowing and correlating for me the reality. So I can do a documentary, no problem. I can watch a movie that is, based on true crime, whatever. But we're talking Wolf Creek. Yes, I can.
Some.
But Wolf Creek, or have you watched The Apex? That's the new one.
Yes.
No.
Please tell me you didn't like that.
Loved it. Loved it.
So
Thought she was an idiot.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like to me, yeah, but we know that one's not real, right? So in my mind, I watched it knowing because it wasn't a true story. But if I know it's a true story, and I'm now seeing these dead bodies hanging in the middle of these caves, and this one bloke has done that, all female, whatever, I can't deal because all I keep thinking about is how can this be happening in humanity?
Yeah.
That's what gets me. I just
everyone
cannot
thinks
handle
that when they're watching it.
Yeah, like the Ed Gein one.
I couldn't watch that.
Yeah, that one was,
Man.
No, that I couldn't watch. That really disturbed me.
that
because
one was disturbing.
I was sad watching that. The first few minutes of that, I was so sad. The others, it's more almost comical. And I detach from reality when I watch
Yeah,
it. So
I agree.
what you're doing, Daniela, is you're looking at it in terms of being real. And I suppose that's what we should be doing. But when I'm watching that, I'm watching it more as not real.
Yeah, I do that.
If it was real, I'd have a totally different
But
reaction
Wolf
to it.
Creek was real.
But see, I detach from that.
She
I
chooses to believe
pretend it's not. I love my mate. He makes a good movie. I love being scared. I love driving through the outback. So for me, it's
No,
really
see,
like,
I'm fucking scared of that.
see, I love
So you can imagine
when
on my 13.5-hour drive,
Yeah.
whatever, in the middle of, Idaho, I was shitting. We were stopping at these petrol stations and all I could think of was Wolf Creek.
Do you remember
I'm
my
like,
favourite
oh my
joke?
God, what if we
It's
get
a bad
back?
joke. It's not a good joke, but it is my favourite joke, and everyone knows I say it. If I get past Mutagon, if I get past, there's all trees and
The Belangolo Forest.
I'm like, that's me, Ivan Milat. That's it. It's all over, guys. Ivan Milat. Like my mother-in-law lives out in, where was it? Where did she say it was again? Somewhere where you drove. Dirt road. And then when I'm driving there with my brother and sister-in-law, I'm like, guys, I'm not coming back. That's it. Ivan Milat, he's going to find us, and that's it. That's just what I think instantly.
I love it. I love danger. I love being on the edge of danger.
Actually, you've said that
because you're so
before, right?
protected.
Because but hang on a second. You've got to trick up yourself
Yeah.
because you know when you're going to die. But
Yeah.
you don't have that.
Yeah, that's such a good thing for that.
I'm not scared.
Yeah, I want to be not scared for that.
I told you I want to have an NDE. So
She's going back to that.
I told you.
Anyway, sorry for the next half negative topic there, but I didn't really know. I just really wanted to confirm that.
I also want to know some listeners if they've got any stories
Yeah.
like that and want some answers or something, because we actually have the 1 month is going to come up soon for listener stories. I reckon.
Yes.
Yeah, if anyone has any stories they want to put in or
Bring
questions,
in
bring it
your
on.
questions.
And then Mary can do, it's either a myth
Oh,
Yeah.
or it's real.
That's a new segment. That's a new segment. Do you like that segment?
Do you? I think I'm going to have signs, like little signs. No. Or maybe like a buzzer for the listeners. Yeah, I'll get a bullshit buzzer for the listeners.
Yeah, one of those little bells.
Yeah, exactly. And when you hear it, like even if you're talking, I can just ring the bell and just annoy you when you speak.
Yeah.
Mary's bullshit bell will ring.
Yeah,
Just to annoy you all in the podcast.
I like this. I like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my story wasn't bullshit. It actually was.
It was real.
Yeah. Okay.
True story.
Try to not full of shit.
Mhm. True story.
See, guys, everyone who likes him, what do you call me, Mum? Dramatic. Mum calls me dramatic and full of all these stories, but you know what? It's always genuine. Like, I'll come from the shops or I'll come from somewhere. It's a real, it's a story. Whether it was just at Woolies.
Nat, okay. The thing is that everyone needs to know about my beautiful daughter, Natty, is that she was born in drama on the toilet. And that's just been not in a bad way. They're dramatic, fun things though with Natty, but I've got video footage of her on a toilet, talk. And she she's just been like this all her life. Every video footage that we have when I look back, I have a good little crackle because she hasn't changed. She's always telling you a new story.
Still on the toilet and will talk to us.
Yeah, and when
stories.
and you know, Mary, when obviously the family now is, you know, moving on, and we'd have our dinners at night time, and it's been crazy Italian family. And Antonio, he doesn't say anything. He's like mute. Unless he's angry.
Sorry, Anton.
Angry Anton.
Yeah.
Sienna, who's the mediator.
Yeah.
But Nat, the drama. And when everyone started to move on,
How
boring. Because it's
boring.
Because our dinners were never the same. Because Nat was the one who would come home and there's always an explosive story. Yeah. Whether it was the Macca's chick down the drive-through that's
I was about to say I've got one of those as well.
Or whether it was just something that's happened at work. There was always drama. And now it's like we wait for drama. So now God brings her on after and goes, how's your day going, Natty? I feel like we still need
because it's entertainment. I'm not like, you know, there's very negative people. I'm not giving a negative story. I'm just telling what everyone's thinking. I'll say it. So like when I was, this is a perfect example yesterday. My mother-in-law, she is the kindest lady. You can't really piss her off. But I just had to come tell her a story just because, you know, I haven't left the house for like all week. And I went to Hungry Jack's because she wanted one of those vegans.
So you've had Macca's. And
I had Macca's, yes. No, I probably had that like 4 days ago. But the Hungry Jack's I had yesterday, but I don't like Hungry Jack's anyway. Sorry, Hungry Jack's.
No, there you go. There goes that sponsorship.
So, yeah, sorry.
I like Hungry Jack's. It's okay. I like the grilled chicken burger.
I like the mayonnaise and the Hungry Jack's.
Okay.
So,
yeah, well, you know what? It puts me off when people are rude. So I'm in the drive-through, and you know when you're talking, you just want to, how's your day? No. Nothing. I was talking to her. I even said, would you like me to pay now? Because she didn't even, like, why would you hire staff like that? I just want to know, like, how miserable you are. You have a job. Wake up, happy, you're getting paid. Like, how angry are you? Anyway, so that's just how I feel. That was my gripe for the week.
I think there's more of that. Do you notice everywhere you go, there's more of that? Is it because there's more self-serve stuff?
I must be. That's a good point.
That's a very good point, Mary. But I think we were talking about this off camera before, where I said that's what I experienced all week. I either got a grunt for a hello, or I got a mute for a hello, or I got just a really angry person. And I was kind of putting it down to, because we arrived on the Tuesday, and everyone was. I walked into a hotel, and there was 2 gentlemen having a beer, and I said, "Oh, good afternoon," and he goes, "Well, we'll see after tonight's budget." Oh! And I said, "Oh, okay, is the budget on tonight?" I actually forgot at that point. And I said, "Oh, great, okay, I'll have to watch that." And he said, "Oh, well," and he waffled on about, you know, politics. And I am non-political. So I am the least, I don't mind hearing about it. I'm not very opinionated about it, because to me, my mindset with politics, I think,
you got no control over it.
Do we really have control over it? At the end of the day, you got. Yes, you can vote, but at the end of the day, it's going to be majority vote, and therefore not necessarily going to be the way I'd like it to be. So
exactly,
and swings and roundabouts. So I just think you've got to get on with your life either way, whatever decisions get made. So, and it was just, and I felt like it was just that energy about this whole, the budget. People were so angry about it. And then that's all it was all week, everywhere we went. Mm-hmm. It was like everyone was angry and frustrated, and it was, very political minded.
I love those people. They're my favorite because they're so mad, and I love being extra nice. Them off. And I go above and beyond being nice. So in Adelaide, Sleepy Town, there was this place I would go to, this cafe, and they were miserable. And maybe not indicative of all of Adelaide, but this place. Love you, all my Adelaide people. And I made it my mission to turn that place around. Within 1 week, they were laughing, joking. I was stuff this. I'm on a mission here. I love it. Those people are a challenge to me. Yeah. The more angry they are. I had a client yesterday who was so angry. She was so mad. By the end of it, we were laughing and joking and crying. And I said, "That's it. I'm not charging you for this session. It's yours. You're amazing."
That's nice.
It was so nice. It was such a turnaround. I love it.
Just people have got things going on that you don't know in there. That's why I
And I think too, because if you're not, it can be if someone's angry, it's very easy to take that on. And then your response, your natural response is to become like them. Like you end up feeding off that negative energy. But if you keep vibrating, it's like, we always say Jackie. So we've got this beautiful girl that works for us. And we've said this before. I think, whatever's going on in Jackie's world, she's just always happy. She'll walk in and she'll say, "Oh, hi, Miss Danny, you look so beautiful today." And you're like, "I look like shit." But yet, she's always got something nice to say.
You're glowing, Miss Natty.
Yeah.
Glowing.
You're so beautiful. And she says the nicest things all the time. I love her.
You never look like shit, Danny.
I beg to differ, right?
Can you two stop flirting?
Danny, what are you doing after this? Danny? Would you like to get a coffee?
We can do
pressure.
coffee. No
Just,
pressure.
Just like to get to know
I don't know what your partner might think about that, Mary or mine. Then again, let's not worry
what
about
they don't know. Sorry, boys. Sorry.
That's so
I think we've got to wrap it up like something now anyway.
We always think about how we're going to wrap it up. And I woke up at 2:00 in the morning thinking about how we're going to unwrap it. So I was laying in bed, 2:00 in the morning, I woke up and went, I'm going to open it like a chocolate bar.
Ooh.
What am I thinking? Go back to sleep. Random thought.
There you go. No, that's what it was meant to
So
be.
you had a random thought about what we're wrapping it up with instead we're unwrapping it like a chocolate bar.
Well, we did unwrap some story space.
Yeah.
Okay, that's wrapping it.
So Mary, I'll let you do the formal.
Oh, I'm going to wrap it up now?
Yeah. Or
I
unwrap.
want to wrap it up.
Is there something else you want to tell us, Mary?
Have a nice weekend, beautiful people.
Yeah.
Whenever you find this. And do something exciting out of your comfort zone. I'm giving you a challenge. Do something that you know what? Go and make a really angry person happy. You be extra nice to them. There's your challenge.
Yeah, love it.
And I can't think of anything to wrap it up because I can't say goodbye.
No.
Oh.
We're leaving it unwrapped.
Unwrapped.
We're out to see you later.
We are unwrapped.
We're unwrapping. And for all the boys out there, or girls.
Wrap it up.
No, boys, wrap up, please. Please, take it from me. Yeah, exactly.
Don't want us to unwrap.
Yeah.
Just be careful what you say.